Hi, my name is Avi.
Hi, my name is Lan An.
And
Welcome back to Bingeable Beans. Okay, today we're going to be talking about Marry My Husband, and it's like a drama about revenge and betrayal.
Yeah, so the main character, Jiwon, is given a second chance in life to seek revenge on her best friend and her ex-husband.
Whenever I saw clips of them on TikTok, or of the show on TikTok, it was always about them too, right? And I was kind of hesitant to start the show because of that, because I know that I don't really like characters like that. It's not a...
The show. It's not the show.
Yeah, it's not a problem with the show
It's
or the
their
actors.
character.
Yeah, I can't.
They purposely make their character really annoying.
Well, no, it's like these specific characters with the whole cheating and the best friend being so like this type of like mean girl character. I hate. And then hers is like she acts all whiny in front of the friend.
Yeah.
I hate. Oh, I can't.
How the best friend Sumin ended up with her ex-husband, low-key kind of fitting. Even though the husband in one, he like hooked up with her and stuff, and just for the moment, even though he genuinely didn't want to marry her, like they kind of fit each other. Like they're obnoxious personalities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you get with a cheater, you really think that you're different from the girl he cheated.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna not do that to you? He's gonna treat you different?
No. Like if
Be for real.
Yeah.
That saying, once a cheater, always a cheater, is very true.
Yeah.
I was hesitant to start it, whatever. The first 3 episodes were hard to watch.
I would say the whole show is hard to watch.
I think it gets a bit interesting though.
It does, but it just took so long to get interesting. But yeah, I would agree. Like the beginning was like, didn't hook me whatsoever.
Yeah, it does take a while to get interesting. That's why at first I was like, I don't get how people like this show.
Episodes are already long already, but this show felt even longer in each episode because it was just so slow. Like nothing. There was like no plot. Honestly, yeah, it was really no plot. It was just like either like it was just like character development, but like even that when they like executed in the episodes, it was just so boring to watch.
Well, yeah, at the beginning, it was just simply her trying to set things up for revenge. And and the reason it's called Marry My Husband is she's trying to set everything up. Whenever she wakes back up, she like died and woke back up in the like 10 years back or something like that. She was trying to set everything up to where her friend Sumin was the one that took her fate,
because like she couldn't avoid the fate, right? Like
yeah, she figured that out pretty early on, is that she can change things, but it will still eventually happen, but just to someone else. And that was her whole plan, right? To give her fate to
her best friend.
But things were like rocky, whatever. And it ended up the person who died at the end was Minhwan.
Actually deserving, because I think he's very, I wouldn't say fitting, but I'd rather him die. Because Sumin, she had a backstory, but Minhwan didn't really like. He didn't really have. He just has a really horrible personality, and he was the one that pushed her.
Yeah. It had to be him. And also, there were moments where that hinted that he was gonna be the one that took her fate too. One example or one scene that I remember specifically is the stock scene. It happened pretty early on. The life that she had at the beginning, Minhwan bought stocks. That was the only thing that he succeeded in, really, was the stocks. He bought that stocks for that company Rohan or something like that. And it went up a lot and he made a lot of money in that. And so in this new life, she remembers that, right? So she's going to buy stocks for that company, but he ended up selling those stocks and he bought the different stocks. So I think in that exact scene, she bought stocks right when he sold it. So it's like they swapped it there.
Speaking of that reminds me, it reminded me of a different K-drama that we watched called Reborn Rich. I was like, why did she not pull the Reborn Rich? Like if I was reborn again with the same information I had in my past life, I would like took advantage of that. Like,
that's one of my questions actually that I was like thinking about while watching it. Like, what would you do if you woke up in her situation?
Boy, I would do everything. I don't know.
Like, you gotta consider her upbringings and like all the things that happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say like all those things happened to you and you kind of act like Jiwon and ended up in that situation. I was thinking about it, I'm like, I would just not mess with everything.
Like the whole revenge thing?
Yeah, because like once you figure out like if it's bound to happen, it's bound to happen. I would still try to like glow up, better myself. Like once I realize everything, I would still try to not be stepped on anymore. But I don't think I would go as far as trying to get revenge.
Maybe it's different in her shoes because it was so traumatic that she just wanted revenge, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
It's so easy for like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I'm just gonna better myself, but like I wouldn't want the revenge. Because I agree. That's a lot of effort, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
It took 16 episodes to succeed that revenge.
But also, I noticed every K-drama or a lot of shows that have this whole like second life or time travel thing, they have this common theme of not messing with fate.
Not messing with, can you elaborate?
Like you can't just change things and expect it to
Go out your way
and continue your way. I always notice that there's some sort of catch to it. You know? Like something will happen. And I think it's it goes with the whole thing that what's bound to happen is going to happen. Yeah. And you shouldn't really mess with your fate kind of thing.
Only in K-dramas and shows.
I mean, only in K-dramas would you wake up
Yeah, true.
in a second life like this. As the show progressed, they kind of got closer and closer. Would you consider that just as bad as what Minwon was doing? Because they were still together. Jiwon knew that she doesn't like him anymore and blah, blah, blah. But she stayed with him just to get revenge.
That was a thought I had. I was like, can't she just break up with Minhwan? But I think she explained it. She can't simply just do that.
Yeah, it was.
She had to like play along because she needed a reason to break up with him. Not like, oh yeah, I want to break up with you because.
Well, no, it was also the whole thing about because she was trying to transfer the fate to her fate to Sumin.
Oh, so she was like strategically like with, like specifically her, right?
Yeah, it had to be the correct timing for it to, where everything will fall into place. So that Sumin could just sweep in and take her husband. That's why she couldn't just break up with him.
Like, right. And then she also mentioned because, like, he's, like, kind of whiny and, like, annoying. Like, she wouldn't be able to break up with him if she wanted to.
Both Minhwan and Sumin were whiny and annoying.
But you mentioned, like, oh, do you consider that, like, bad? Like, just as bad? No.
Yeah. At first, I was like, wait a minute. Is this not also cheating? But then I was like, wait, no, not really. Because Mr. Yu confessed like, oh, he liked him, there's nothing wrong with that. He didn't pursue her, and he just simply said, I like you. Yeah, letting her know. And then she also kept mentioning like, oh, I do have a boyfriend and stuff like that at the beginning. And then later on they did get closer, but it was kind of surface level. They were friends. They never really crossed the line really. So I'm like, oh.
I think she also pushed him away.
Yeah, until like finally she's like accepting him a bit more.
They were together while she was still with Minhwan. I wouldn't say that it's cheating just because just because it's Minhwan, and then the whole revenge plan, like she obviously didn't want to be with him anymore, but she didn't have a choice at the moment.
Yeah.
And he's bad. Minhwan's bad.
Yeah, but like
that's why I don't feel bad.
But she can't be a hypocrite though. But she wasn't though. Actually that reminds me of another thing. Another point that I had was, you know how she had that whole glow up, and then the way she dresses is very like sexy, seductive, and sassy compared to her friend Sumin. She also dresses up nice, right? But Sumin dresses very innocent, you know?
Yeah.
Much more nice. Jiwon, her whole her second life, the point of it was to not be nice anymore. She's not gonna let people step on her anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why like she has to be. Her image is more sassy and
mean.
I think it was just she's so over it. Like it literally was almost her whole life. She was friends with Sumin since high school, and she's had to put up with it. Oh, that reminds me, one thing that I was like, that's so bad. Like Sumin is kind of like a psycho is this was in her second life. They were at this like it was like a workshop thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But they were like camping or whatever. And Jiwon finally was able to get the number 1 flag, you know?
Yeah,
And they had that whole argument talking back and forth. And then after the whole situation was situated, they were washing their hands. And Sumin had the audacity to be like, why didn't you let me win? Her saying that, I was like, oh my gosh. Because before, leading up to that, I also noticed, because they would have flashbacks to when they were younger, I would notice that Sumin is just friends with Jiwon for her ego, to make herself feel better.
Yeah.
To have someone that's lower, like guaranteed, she has someone that's going to guarantee her that upper position, you know? There's always going to be someone that's lower than her.
Yeah.
And that person was Jiwon.
Yeah. Oh, I remember something. So Sumin also had other friends too. Why didn't she hang out with them?
No, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. She pretended to play this nice girl to feed her ego, you know? At the reunion, actually, she had this outburst after she was kind of exposed and whatnot. She had this outburst. She like slammed the table. She was like, you guys were the one that decided to be mean to her, not me. It was not her saying that wasn't I'm defending Jiwon. That's not what it was. It was a reminder to herself, like a verbal reminder, like, I'm not the bad guy.
Like, I'm a nice girl.
Yeah, I'm just this nice petite little girl.
Yeah.
So, those little things. I guess because I'm also such a I'm not a pushover.
And the pushovers annoy you.
Yeah, and then people like Sumin bother me, and if I was in her shoes, I'd be like, if I win, I win. Like, you lose, you lose.
I can't believe after all the little instances that Sumin would do to Jiwon, she would be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, would you forgive me? Like, boy, like, what? Forgive you?
That goes with her character at the beginning. Like,
oh, Jiwon?
Yeah. Her character at the beginning, she grew, her mom left them, but he's just really kind. So kind to the point where it makes her kind of naive. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, that's why it makes Jiwon and Sumin different, okay? Because both of them grew up kind of similar situations. Because Sumin had her dad leave, like an affair and leave. And then Jiwon had her mom have an affair and leave. The difference, though, is that with Jiwon, she had a very caring father, like a parental figure left.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to Sumin, her mom was quite mean to her. She would make remarks on her all the time, kind of like, blah, 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 this is why your father left, or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that probably caused her to need a person like Jiwon to make her feel better and things like that, and made her kind of psycho.
And she was jealous of Jiwon.
Yeah, so all of that stuff led her to be psycho and always wanting to be on top. And then that led Jiwon to be this nicer girl because she only ever saw her father be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, like, and she was like lonely. People would like make fun of her, you know?
Yeah.
She was desperate. The first person that came to her, wanted to be her friend, was Sumin. So
yeah. I think also being friends with Sumin for so long.
That's all she knows.
Yeah, and Sumin's like really nice to Jiwon.
Because I want to hate on them, but I feel like at first glance, I hate on Jiwon's character. Not Jiwon's second life character, but her when she was younger, like being a pushover. Because it irks me. But then you think about her past and all of that, you can't blame them. And I can't get angry at them.
Yeah. Her ex-husband though, Minhwan, I don't get why. It's the
mother.
mother.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I always said this throughout the show, like, not throughout the show, but I was like, when I met the mom, Minhwan's mom, I'm like, no wonder Minhwan's like that. It's like mother, like son.
Yeah. It always goes back to the parents. And how the parents treat the kids, how they were raised. It always, as I feel like any K-drama. In life too, actually. It's always the parents. And then you're like, why did the parents act like that? Their parents.
Yeah. It's just like an endless psycho.
So,
Mr. Yu and Jiwon, I feel like they match each other very well. Like, not just personality, but also appearance-wise.
I mean, yeah, they do look good together.
Yeah, because they're both like corporate, like serious people.
Oh, actually, yeah, that reminds me of another thing. Another thought I had while watching the show. At first, my first impression on the show was, it's probably going to be the stereotypical. Because the stereotypical glow up, you know, and suddenly like all these people want her now, whatever. But there was actually more to it. She did get a glow up, and then people treated her different. But she wasn't. The guy didn't come in, and it wasn't like a damsel in distress type thing where she needed a guy to come in, sweep her up, and help save her. She wanted to do things on her own, and he kind of had to beg her to be like, "It's okay to ask for help."
Yeah.
You know, and that's when she kind of opened up to him a bit. I did like that part though.
I like that. Yeah. He also knew her
When they were younger.
Yeah, when she was like the drunk incident.
Yeah,
He would take care of her.
that was like, I think they were in college. I think something like that.
Oh, another point. I was like, so yeah, they look great together. Whatever. But why did only them were reborn into this new life? Not new life, the second life.
Yeah.
Why them? You know, like are they soulmates? You know, kind of thing. I don't like why them. You know.
I don't know why Jiwon. Maybe because.
I think why G1, but I don't know why Mr. Yu did.
Wait. Why do you think Jiwon?
Why I think G1 had a second chance in life or a second life again is because her life was just horrible. Like she was mentally, emotionally abused by her friend Sumin, and then she got sick, because she was stressed and stomach cancer, right? Stomach cancer,
Yeah,
cancer.
stomach cancer.
And then she was married to her horrible husband that wouldn't do shit. She had to take care of her husband.
She was miserable. Oh my gosh.
And the mom's horrible. Or Minhwan's mom was horrible.
Yeah.
And then she gets cheated on, and then she dies. She gets pushed by Minhwan, and she dies. That's why I think.
Well, then this all goes off of that too. Then, because Jiwon had to go into her second life. Mr. Yu had to come in. Because remember, he had the little heart on him, and that was like her dad's thing. My theory is that Jiwon's dad sent Mr. Yu to help guide her.
But why? Why him?
Why him specifically?
Because it could have been the other high school guy. You remember his name? The chef?
I think it's because they were like truly soulmates. I think that's.
Because even in the past life, her past life, she didn't really know him like that. He didn't really either. He said he didn't really like know his feelings until after her death. He like felt bad for her.
Oh, maybe that's why. He also had his own regrets regarding to her. Maybe the whole thing is if you have regrets, huge regrets that you never took action on. You know?
And they're good people, so they get a chance in the second chance.
I guess. Or
because Minhwan and Sumin, they're horrible people. I don't. They probably have regrets, right? They probably have regrets. They wouldn't have a second chance in life. Why would the universe
ends there? No, I think the theory of them having regrets
is why they have a second chance.
Is reasonable.
Yeah,
because it did show him at her funeral, Mr. Yu at Jiwon's funeral, and he was kind of realizing things, and he realized how bad it was. Oh, that's also why he was at the funeral and he heard about everything, all the high school stuff. So he also figured it out. If it was the other guy, he wouldn't have really known to help her. The chef.
Are you saying Mr. Yu known everything?
He didn't know everything, but at the funeral, all the people there were kind of talking here.
Oh, right. But
so
what
he knew.
But what if the chef guy knew too? Like he was there too. If anything, the chef guy probably knows more because he knows, or except for he was misled because he thought the rejection letter was her. That was the only thing. But he went to the same high school as her, and he knew the whole drama, right?
And if anything, Mr. Yu, it makes more sense to have Mr. Yu because he has more power.
CEO,
like grandson of the chairman type of.
It's always like the nice guy who's like perfect.
Yeah. Do you think it would have worked if it was somebody else? Like let's say it was a chef.
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Like as in what? Like the love or like
the whole revenge thing? That's what I'm talking about.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, because look. Oh, adding on to if it why Mr. Yu worked is because he worked at the company that she works with. I mean, works for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I feel like
because Mr. Chef guy, he
wouldn't be able to help, man.
He has nothing to do with the company.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
He's at the crime site or the. What's it called? The crime
scene?
The crime scene.
Wow. The crime site. Wrapping it up. Would you say this show is bingeable?
I give it like a 7. It started to get interesting.
I give it a 4.
Wow, she a harsh critic, man.
I just, if you were saying that it might be the genre I don't like. No, I feel like romance can be executed good. Like, it could be good. Romance can be good, but this is so long, lengthy, and boring. It took so long to hook me in. It only got interesting at the end, and it didn't have to be that long. You know?
Bringing in the girl, his ex-fiance, kind of like towards the end, kind of. I get that was like to get him cheating and whatnot, but
That was unnecessary?
I wouldn't say unnecessary, but it just wasn't my favorite. I don't know how else to put it.
Oh.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
Okay. Bye.